Okay, digital imaging. I'm going to show you guys how you can make an offset path for your text here. So these are going to be for our stickers. And so an offset path is where you have a path that goes off whatever is the object that you're going to make here. So I've got my sticker here and I've got all my pieces. Remember that your sticker is going to be 3 inches by 3 inches. And then what I've done is so the video is not super long, I've separated everything out here. That's going off the edge. So what you're doing is you're creating a line here that you're going to use so that you can cut out your sticker and go around the objects that go off the edge here. So I've got my cats here and their ears are going off the edge on this side, and then I've got my name up here and that's going to go off the side here. So what I've done is I've just pulled, I've made duplicates of my circle, which I'm going to cut out, and then I made duplicates of my cat heads and my ears here. So to kind of show you how I did that, I'm just going to ungroup this and go to ungroup. I'll grab this other one, cat, and ungroup my other cat here. This is all one piece. I'm going to ungroup that one more time. And then, yeah, this is all one piece. I'm going to ungroup this one more time here too. Okay. And then what you can do is I'm just going to select this. That's my background. I'll select my circle. I'll select my text, and then I'll go over here and select this other part of my cat's head. And then I'm just going to press Control D and duplicate to duplicate that, and then I'll put that over there like that. So that's how I did that. I'm just going to delete that because I don't need that. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to make this all one single piece here. So I'm going to select this. I've got my text, and so I've turned my text from a text into an object. So what I've done is went to path and then object to path. And then I'm going to select, and so what that does is change my text from an object, or from a text to an object here so that I can simplify this down. So I'm going to select my circle here, and then I'm going to go to path and union. Okay, and that's going to combine that to one single piece, and then I'll do the same thing. Remember when you union stuff, usually it works best if you just do one at a time here. So I'm doing path union, and then I'm doing path and union. Okay. I'm also going to change the color here, and that way it'll be a little bit easier to see, and then also you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Now what we're going to do is we've got this. These are all my pieces that are going off the edge. So now we need to create the offset path here. So I'm going to go up to path, and then everything's unionized. So then I'm going to go to path, and then I'm going to go linked offset. Okay, and then you'll get this box that appears here, and you'll see your nodes selected. You also want to make sure that you have your snapping off. So I've got my snapping off here because that'll kind of mess up when you're creating your offset path. And then I'm just going to click and drag, and I'm just going to pull up, you know, something like that. Let me see if I can kind of move this. Oh, that's my original. I'll keep that just to show. And then I'm going to grab this, and then I will put this behind my bottom layer here and kind of put this there like that. I've got these little bubbles here. I'll take care of those later on here. And then I'm going to go back to my nodes tool, and then can I make this bigger? Whoa. Something happened here. I'm just going to I'm going to step backwards. Something went wrong here. I'll just do it over here. I step backwards. Let's try this again here. And then I'll do path union. And then path linked offset. And then I'm just going to eyeball this here. I'm not going to put it underneath there. Something went really kind of wacky. I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger here like that. And do that. Okay. And then last thing you'll do once you have this and it looks how you want it, you're going to do path, and then you're going to do object path. Sorry, up here at the top, object path. Okay, now you'll see I've got all these little bubbles and stuff like that. Let me change the color again so you can kind of see here. Here's my original, and then here is my other piece. So now I can see kind of how big. Yeah, now I can kind of see how big that is. So that looks pretty good. That's going to be my cut line. And then I'm going to move this out of the way because we don't need that. And then there are all these pieces here, and depending on what your image is, you might not have these, but these are like all the little like cutouts of my text and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go in and delete those by selecting them with my nodes tool. So I'm just clicking and dragging and then selecting these and deleting those here. Okay, I'm not going to go through and delete all these for this video here because you guys don't really need to watch that. But then what you'll do in the end is, now I'm ready to make this into a stroke here. So I'm going to keep this as like this pink, and then I'm going to get rid of my fill. And then I'm going to go to my fill and stroke, and I'm just going to increase this here so you can kind of see. Whoops, way too much. And then I'm going to change this to a dashed line here. This is too thick here. I'm going to just bring this down a little bit. Let's change this to pixels. Okay, let me kind of zoom in. So this is going to be my cut line, and then I'm going to do just like a really light gray. And then just imagine that this isn't here, because I would end up deleting that in the end. And then what I'll do is I will, whoops, I'm like all thumbs right now. And then I'll move this into position here. And then I want to make sure that this is at the bottom of the stack here. And then let me zoom in and kind of see what I've got here. Okay, I'm going off the edge here, so I actually might, I'm just going to decrease this just a little bit. I made this a little bit too big. Okay, so this, these will be my cut lines. Again, remember that this isn't going to be here. So these are going to be lines for where I can cut here. So if you want to make this, you don't want to make these lines too dark here. So I've got them as like a really light gray there for when I start cutting these. Okay. So for your sticker, you want to have at least some things going off the edge here, and then you can create this text up here for that. Okay.